Hey guys, what's going on? So I'm gonna be doing a uh, 3 months, 3 months of usage, about 3 months of usage, and over 100 miles on this board, on the 2019 Meepo board. I'm not gonna be utilizing a tripod because I want to specifically point out some parts of the board and some other things that I want to point out that I cannot do with the tripod. So I'm hand holding the camera. Sorry if the footage is a little bit shaky, but I want to give it a try. So let's get into the video. So after 100 miles, well, I have to say that the board is it's quite good. Okay, now what is it that I like the most about the board? Well, what I like the most about the board is probably the weight, actually, even though it's a little heavy at 15 pounds. I'm a lightweight rider. I'm 54 kilograms, 122 pounds, so I'm not a big guy, and I don't have the how can I say, the strong muscles that you need to have in order to pick this up. So it's pretty good. It's the weight is bearable, and after a few times that you pick it up and down, you get used to the weight. So the weight is there are boards that are weighing over 20 pounds, 18-20 pounds, and that is, I mean, if this board is, it's a little heavy, but it's bearable. I cannot imagine the 18 to 20 pound ones. So that's something that I really like. After 100 miles, after going to supermarkets, going to stores, going everywhere, what I do is I just grab the handle. I try to put the grip tape towards the outside of my body, so in that way I don't rub it with my clothes. So if you rub that with your clothes, perhaps it's gonna rip out. I'm sorry, hold on. Okay, all right. Yes, so if you rub it with your clothes, the grip tape, it will sort of rip off your jeans or your clothes. So I just hand hold it, I pick it up and I put the grip tape on the outside and the battery on the facing backwards. Why? Because the weight distribution. So, and it's better to hold it like this because you have more control over the top of the board. You can see where the front of the board is, as where if you had it the other way, you know where the front is, which is the back, but you have all this long tail, so you might bump into somebody, and that's not a pleasant moment. So yes, that's not something that you want to do. Hold up. Sorry, let me fix the focus. Okay, these allergies, man, they're killing me. Yes, that's something. The weight, the grip tape. Let's talk about a little bit about the grip tape. Excellent grip tape. It's still holding up. I still got plenty of grip on my shoes. It's excellent. It's very very good. It's getting it's losing a little bit of the grain, but it's nothing. It's nothing to worry about right now. After 100 miles and something like that, I'm pretty sure. Well, not pretty sure. I know that I have plenty of more grip tape to go. What else? Okay, let's look at the wheels, because I want to talk about the wheels for a little bit. I've gone through some bumps and rocks, and as you guys can see right there, the rocks itself, oh that's pretty good. The rocks and the debris have scratched the wheel. Okay, they have scratched the rubberized wheel, and well, not the wheel itself, but the embedded logo. So yeah, it's that's fine. It happens. You go through bumps, rocks and stuff, and this thing just happens. It's something that is gonna happen. But yeah, besides that, I'd rather have this logo scratched up than the wheel to be torn up, with some wheels. I've seen some videos that the wheels crack and they form these cracks and bumps on the wheel. Well, it's not the case with this one. Okay, so what this means is that the rock has hit the wheel and it has slipped towards the outside, and it's slipping towards the outside. So it has to scratch this decal or the embedded, branding. So yes, that's for that wheel. For the bottom wheels, there is, well, as you can see, there is no issue at all with it. Not from the inside, not from the outside. There is no issue at all. I don't see any cracks. I don't see anything. There is nothing wrong with the board. Sorry, it's a little dirty. I didn't want to clean it up fully because I wanted you guys to see how it might get. It's going to get very dirty. I have to clean it up after 2 or 3 times that I go out. Yes, there are no cracks whatsoever on this wheel, on this left side wheel. Okay, bottom left side wheel, which is the motor. This one is the motor, so there are no cracks on it. Sorry. What there is though, it's same thing as in the front wheel, but we have it on the back wheel. Some scratches, see, which is nothing to worry about, to be honest. Some scratches on the wheel itself and on the rivets. Not a concern, to be honest. Let's take a look at the other side. Hold on. Take a look at what. Okay. All right. Some people have asked me what sort of battery do I have on the board, and this battery is the standard battery. This is not the long range. This is not the extra punch Samsung battery. No, this is just a regular one. This is just the cheapest Meepo V2 that you can get right now. Okay, so this is just the standard battery. Yeah, I put some branding on it. Okay, so let's look at this wheel. Okay, I see. Okay, now I'm seeing some little cracks and bumps. Okay, hopefully you guys can see it. Not so much, but I do see some little cracks on this wheel. Why more on this one than the other, I have no idea, but I do see, not on the outside but on the inside. Let's see, can you guys see that? Hopefully you guys can see those little cracks. Eventually, what I'm thinking is that eventually those little cracks will expand, obviously, and they will create even bigger cracks. So that's a concern. So bear that in mind, that after 100 miles, if you go through little rocks, debris, just road debris that sometimes you can't avoid, you will get some little cracks. In the long term, you will have to replace the motors because of the rubber. Not because the engine is bad, but because the rubbers are forming little cracks. So it's $60, $70, so it's not that bad, I mean, and if you want to replace, if you have to replace it, you have to, the cracks have to be serious. They have to, you have to see a chunk of the wheel come out. So after a chunk of a wheel comes out, yes, you do have to replace it. But overall, after over 100 miles, I've done over 100 miles for sure. I use it I use it every day. I just came actually today. I just came from the mail, and yeah, I use it almost every day. Same here. I don't see any big discrepancies here. What I do see is just the usual scratches and markings from the usage. Okay, Let's look at the pack. Oh yeah, that's the light that I usually use. It's excellent. It's beautiful. I love it. You know, you can have just place it in there, put it in steady mode, and it's beautiful. At night, everybody sees you, and it's excellent. Yes. Let's see. Let's go to the front and let's go to this one. Well, this one is pretty much the same as the front one, as the other side. So there isn't too much to talk about this. So now let's go to the back of the wheel, to the board right here. Okay. Any concerns regarding the back of the board? I mean the underside of the board. Not at all. What I will have to point out is that this little thing comes out very, very easily. This little thing for the battery cable. Let me show you guys. Got the battery cable right here. So this is to plug it in. Okay. Boom. That's how you plug in the battery. But when you obviously you take it off, it's fully charged, whatever. You want to utilize it, and you put this little stopper, this rubber stopper in. Little thing. When you start riding, it will come out. Okay, if it doesn't come out, that means that you had a smooth ride. But if it comes out in just a regular ride with some little rough terrain and some little cracks and bumps of the road or from the sidewalk, this thing will manage its way out. So if you go through a puddle, if you go through a little bit of water and it gets in there, you might face a little issue with the battery. Hopefully it doesn't happen. I've gone through some puddles, I've gone through some water, and I haven't gone. When I see some water and I go through there, I do not go full throttle. What I try to do is I slow down as much as I can and just go very easy on it, because as you guys can see, well, first of all, because the board is not waterproof. This board is not waterproof at all. So that's the main thing. The second thing is that the ESC has a vent. Okay, and if you get plenty of water, well, not plenty, if you get some water here and the electronics, you know for sure that the board is gonna be dead. Okay, so I've seen some people putting plastic around it and wrapping it up with all sorts of things, but I do not recommend it. Okay, I do not recommend it because the ESC, this has to take the heat out of it, and these little vents right here, that's the main purpose. So with that said, you want to keep the ESC cooled, otherwise it overheats and then the board catches fire and then you start burning up and then you die, and you don't want to die because of misusage. The range test, yes, I have to do a range test. I'm going to be doing a range test of the board. I've went how many miles? I've gone over. I think I went over 9 miles, over 9.5, almost 10 miles on this board, and I still had more than half. No, I had half the battery left, which it shows up on the remote. I don't have the remote right now with me, but I went over almost 9.5 miles, and I still had battery left. Not over, but I had those two little bars, red bars, indicators on the controller, meaning that I had half of the battery left. The suggested range, or the average range of this battery, of the max range of this battery, supposedly it's 11 miles, but for the time that I was using it, I knew that I could go even further. I was going in eco mode. Okay, yes, I was going in eco mode. So yes, after 100 miles, everything turns on perfectly. It works excellent. I don't have any complaints at all. What I would want to have is a little bit more flex on the board. I weigh 54 kilograms, 120 pounds, and yes, I would like to have a little bit more of flex on the overall deck. But if you have more flex, obviously you do need to tighten up the trucks, and since I am lightweight, a tight truck won't allow me to steer as much as I want to, so it has its drawbacks too. So a stiffer board allows me to go faster, it makes the board more stable and faster speeds, and allows me to move the trucks, to loosen up the trucks, on that way I can steer a little bit better. But I'm giving away the comfortable, the flexible deck, So this board might be better suited for perhaps a heavier rider. If you have a regular weight, which is 140, 60, 65 kilograms maybe, you're gonna be perfectly fine. In my opinion, I think you're gonna be fine, because you weight more, so you put more weight on the decks, meaning that the deck has to flex a lot more. So that's a plus for a bigger rider. I don't see anything else that I can point out about the board. I mean, everything works excellent. The bearings are really good. I don't see any wobbling, any knocking noise. I don't see any of that. I don't hear any of that. Yes, everything is perfect. I think it's a great board. It has plenty of life to go. Like I said before, I like the weight. The weight is something that is pretty good. It's not super heavy, but it's not extremely lightweight either. So it's mid-range weight, if you can put it that way. And yes, it's really good. I will do a range test soon, and I'm gonna do the range test. Just a little heads up. I'm gonna do the range test with only in expert mode. For now, only expert mode. Okay. And if you've come up all this far from the video, I'm gonna tell you why. Because in expert mode, during expert mode, but the faster you go, the harder, the higher your mode on the remote is, the faster you're gonna go. Obviously, eco is slower than expert, and expert is slower than pro mode. So if you go in expert mode, okay, which is where I'm gonna test it, I can get up to 25 miles an hour. When I get to 25 miles an hour and I hit the brakes, the board is gonna take a longer time, a little bit longer, to brake as if I was on eco mode. Okay, what does that mean? That means that the regenerative braking is gonna have a little bit more time when you brake to regenerate the battery of the board. Okay, bear that in mind. Hopefully you understand, because if I'm in eco mode, I'm topping out at 15 miles an hour and I brake, I'm gonna brake in like 1 or 2 seconds, meaning that the regenerative braking is gonna work for 1 or 2 seconds. But if I fully go at 25 miles an hour and I brake, I'm gonna stop in 5 seconds. So I have almost twice, a little bit over twice the amount of regenerative braking for the battery. Okay, so I'm recharging the battery more in expert mode than in eco mode, just because of the braking, and that's a plus. I think that's a plus. Now, is that gonna affect how much juice do I get out of the battery? Am I gonna get 11 miles or am I gonna get more? I don't know. I think I'm gonna get more miles on expert mode than in eco mode. Okay, because at the end of the day, if it doesn't matter if you're using the slowest mode or the highest mode, the capacity of the battery is going to be the same. Okay, so if it has 2000 milliamp battery, that 2000 milliamp battery is gonna last you for let's say 11 miles. Whether you go 11 miles in the stopwatch mode on the Pro mode, it's 11 miles. That does not change. What makes the difference, it's the regenerative braking. Okay, so if, like I said before, if you brake faster, if you brake stronger, if you go faster, you brake stronger, you regenerate more juice for the battery. So we might be able to go a little faster and longer on extra mode. Okay, so that's all I wanna say. It's a 20-minute video. You made it this far. Thank you for watching. And if you need to know anything about the board, let me know. Even if it's just little things, or how many screws does it have, or I don't know, what's the color of whatever, let me know. I will answer it. I'll do my best to answer it. And yes, anyway, thank you for watching. Have a great day. Bye bye.